When all of your competitors are busy uploading videos, it has never been more important than now to brand your videos so that you stand out. So today we're talking about how you can make your videos more engaging by using music. Let's get right into it. If you're new here, my name is Liz. I help coaches and consultants add video to their business. Be sure to subscribe so that you never miss any of my future content. Now, video branding is a topic near and dear to my heart because I truly believe that you can get your audience engaged and invested with your brand if they recognize your videos when they're scrolling on social media. As soon as people see my green wall, they know right away that this is me and this is my brand. So like that, there's a lot of different things that you can do to make your videos more recognizable to their audience. That way, no matter where they're scrolling, when they bump into a video that looks like yours, they will stop their scroll and watch it, if you've built that type of a brand. One of my favorite ways to do this is by adding music. If you know anything about me, music is something that I have loved participating in since my childhood days, and I continue to add that to my business by adding music to my videos. I don't always have music running in the background while I'm talking because I know that can be distracting for people sometimes. But I like to use music in different and more interesting ways so that it can just help my viewer retain their attention and find the entire presentation more interesting for them. So let's get into a bunch of different ways that you can use music and the things that you have to keep in mind before you add it. Let's jump right into it. Right off the bat, let's talk about maintaining a consistent brand image. Now, hopefully at this point in your business, you've done some type of branding work where you understand for yourself what is the brand image that you want to put out to your audience. You'll have to think about your niche, your personality, and your existing audience or the target market, and try to find that perfect intersection between the three things. You'll use all of those brand components in a lot of different ways. You'll use it on your website, on your social media platforms, in your graphics, in your correspondence. You can use that in your actual videos in terms of objects, colors, fonts, all of that. And music is an important place to keep this in mind as well. You always want to keep in mind what your target audience would like and have that align with you and your actual brand. You might be a product-based business or you might be a service business. Maybe you offer one-to-one services. Keep all of this in mind when you're trying to think about music that would connect well with all of them. If you were a brand that sells woolen sweaters and then all of the music in your video is gothic rock or something like that, then there might be a bit of a mismatch there. Having said that, music is such a universal language. You can use any type of music for any type of content. There's no hard and fast rules around it. But the thing that you want to keep in mind is whether your audience is going to find that to be a good match or not. So think about what your product or your service is. Think about your ideal client and customer. What type of music would they find interesting along with watching your videos? Do you also like that type of music? So as I said, find that perfect intersection between the two. There's certain types of audio that go really well with certain types of niches. Have you noticed that when you see different accounts on social media that talk about the cozy aesthetic or about creating a warm and inviting workspace or about crafts, that there's a certain type of music that's always played in the background? It doesn't mean that you have to pick music that everyone is using already in that niche. But the reason that those accounts are probably using that music is because they found that it appeals to their audience. It helps people get into that frame of mind of watching content on that topic. So do that branding exercise for yourself and then try to isolate a few pieces of audio that you think would work really well. The next thing to do is to know your editing software really well. Whether you're using something simple on your phone like CapCut and InShot, or you're using iMovie or Camtasia or Adobe, any one of these programs will allow you to upload music to those softwares directly and then insert it in the places where you want. Most of these programs also have default music that they have already in the software that you can use. So you don't necessarily need your own brand music. So learn how to use those softwares in a way that you know how to insert the music, how to trim out parts of it in case it's too long, how to move it around on the timeline of your video so you can put it in different places. You can also learn how to fade in the music and fade out the music. These are all little tips and tricks within the editing that will just make it more engaging for your viewer. It'll make it more interesting for them to watch, and it will give the appearance of a polished, production that has nice music in the right places. So we're interrupting this video so that I can remind you to subscribe. I think you should do that first. And if you want to get started with video sooner rather than later, I encourage you to look in the description of this video where I have linked 3 resources that are going to get you started with video this week. Be sure to look there and I will send you all the details soon. Now let's get back to our video. Speaking of being in the right places, the next thing for you to consider is the timing and the transition of this music. You'll have to do some tests to see what really works well with your audience. For example, when I first started making YouTube videos, I had music running in the background of most of my videos, just at low volume. But eventually people started leaving comments that the music was loud and distracting, and so I stopped doing that. Now, you don't necessarily have to stop doing everything that 1 or 2 random people say to you on the internet. However, if more and more people are mentioning that, or you feel like you're looking at your analytics and people are just dropping off the videos, then it could be because the music is distracting to them. So keep an eye on that. There are some great places where you can add music on the other hand. For example, if you have an intro to your video, that's a good place to put a little bit of music, or an outro. Another place where we see sound effects is just to add some emphasis to certain points. So that's not really music, but it is a sound effect that you can use. That's also helpful. So watch through your videos and see where are the right places to add some music. Just as a little bit of filler, or maybe as a little bit of background. You'll have to test it out and see what really works for your audience and what you like as well. When you add music in the right places and during the right transitions, that actually is the glue that can hold a really good video together. Now, one thing that people don't sometimes think about that is actually important is that you should be balancing your audio levels. Most normal people who are just doing simple video editing, they just worry about the volume. So of course you want to make sure that if you are speaking in the video or there's any type of spoken word, that the volume of your music is just light in comparison to that. Then other times during the intro, outro, then the volume can be louder. But consider the fact that many people listen to videos with their headphones in. When they listen with headphones, then the balancing within the track of that music might sound a little bit off. So I always recommend that after you add music to a video, or just when you're watching your own video back before publishing it somewhere, listen to it with headphones. That way you will really clearly be able to hear whether the bass in that song is too loud or whether the treble is too scratchy. Depending on what software you're using, you may or may not be able to adjust those things. There could be some settings in your software that allow you to balance the EQ and check the audio levels. So learn how to do that. On the other hand, other platforms like Instagram, for example, they really just allow you to use the audio and then just adjust the volume up or down. So you don't have too much more activity that you can do with balancing the audio levels there, but still keep in mind the actual volume of it. Sometimes one mistake that we see on Instagram Reels is that people use a trending audio and then they're also speaking and they forget to adjust the volume of the trending audio and it ends up being too loud. So test it out and watch your own finished product back to see, is that volume the right volume? Usually for trending audios on Instagram, I put it to volume 6, which actually seems very low considering you can go up to volume 100. But I have found that when I listen to that back, that 6 for the volume of the music is perfect when I am also speaking in the video. Now let's talk about royalty-free music. Many people end up getting in hot water because they use other people's music without paying for it or crediting them appropriately. This can actually be a problem. Don't forget that every single piece of music out there in the world has been created by some artist somewhere. So they may not want you just ripping it off from the internet and using it without ever crediting them or having them be paid for it. So be very careful about doing those type of things. On the other hand, there are websites like Epidemic Sound, for example, that allow you to either purchase or download music and then use it royalty-free. So that means you can simply just use that in your content without having to pay the artist back for it or to expressly mention that it is their audio that you are using. So look into that stuff very, very carefully. Some mistakes that I see my students making are trying to rip off music from here and there all over the internet and then just run it in the background of their videos. This is always a big no-no because the platform can shut down your video, they can pull out the trending audio, and they can prevent that video from even being seen by people. Not only that, but why would you want to rip off another artist who's worked hard to create that music? So be very careful about that. When you're using something like the YouTube music library, that set of audio there has been vetted already and YouTube is allowing you to freely use it. So that's always an option for you. When you are creating content on Instagram or even on TikTok, those platforms have picked different pieces of music that they have already added to their audio library. So you can just use that. You'll notice that when you use that, it tells the viewer of that video who that trending audio or who that audio piece belongs to. So that's where that artist is getting that credit. So that's already done for you. But be careful about grabbing other things from places without paying for it or adding the appropriate credit within your videos itself. And on that topic, you also need to know how licensing works. If you're creating videos for commercial purposes that you plan to sell to the general public, then beware of what is the audio that you are putting into those videos. If you haven't appropriately purchased it or gotten the rights to use that, then you could absolutely end up in a legal battle with the artist who is going to come after you for using their audio. So be aware of that. Be very, very clear about where you are purchasing it from, what you're allowed to do with that music, if you're only allowed to use it for your own personal reasons, or if you're allowed to use it for these commercial purposes. Now, as much as I love adding music to videos, I do understand that it takes some time to get it right. To pick the right type of music, to add it the right way that it's pleasing, and to do it in a way that you are not actually infringing on the artist's rights. It takes some time to get that entire thing together. But I guarantee you that it's worth it, because when you have a video that has some music in the right places, it adds to the overall appeal and your viewer really feels like you've taken time to create a better up-leveled production. So if you like this type of video, I hope that you would give it a like, share it off with one of your friends. Don't forget to subscribe. Every single Tuesday, I bring you a new video teaching you how you can add video to your business. So until next time, take care.